All right, we are backstage here at the Mid-America Center with the headlining act of the Music as a Weapon tour. I'm here with David from Disturbed. How are you doing today?
Good, yourself?
I'm doing all right. It's a pleasure to meet you. I know you've done some amazing work. So what's the meaning of the name Disturbed?
Well, the name came from basically our perspective on how the world treats people who are different from the norm. Typically, modern society, or society in general, not just modern society, but going back centuries probably, always treats people who stand out from the norm as rejects, as if there's something wrong with them. They imprison them, they restrain them, they exterminate them. And it was that attitude towards individuality in society that disturbed us.
What was it like the first time you heard yourself on the radio? Do you remember that moment?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I stopped in the middle of traffic, got up on top of the roof, the hood of the car and screamed.
You're not making this up?
Oh no, I was in my little piece of garbage, two-door Ford Explorer at the time, used 3 times over, and oh yeah, I lost myself, man. Just blew up.
And what did other people think of this?
They were probably taken aback quite a bit. There were horns honking all over the place, and I almost caused an accident, but yeah, that's what it was.
Was it worth it?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
So what's the most interesting venue you've ever played?
Hole-in-the-wall venues that have no ventilation and that the condensation factor gets so bad in there that the ceiling starts dripping, and it's not leakage from the ceiling, it's everybody else's sweat that condensed on the walls and is now falling all over you.
I bet that makes you appreciate something like a real concert arena, huh?
Hell yeah. Give me a big room any day of the week, brother. I'm all about getting in front of a big crowd in a big room with a lot of ventilation and great lighting, and indoors where we can actually appreciate the lighting. That's probably going to sit there most of the damn day.
Really?
I think the only thing that we end up attacking after the show, I'll maybe have a couple pieces of cheese and a piece of fruit. The bottle of wine will definitely go.
Now, what you don't have, are you going to give to us?
You want it?
No. Although I don't know, I got this from Disturbed. How's that?
It might go to waste, so
We'll come back after the show and get some free food.
We'll hook you up.
When did you know Disturbed had become big, that you had hit mainstream success?
One of the main points of recognition for us was the first radio show that we headlined at what for us has always been the main music venue in Chicago. When we played it, sold-out show where we headlined 25,000 Chicago fans. That was when we finally had felt that, oh my God, we've done it, we've arrived.
Now, what's it like to walk out on stage in front of 10,000 fans, or 10,000 fists, I guess you could say? I mean, can you really describe that feeling? What's it like for the average person?
Difficult to describe. It's a direct mainline infusion of energy into you, if you have them. If you don't have them and things aren't going right, it is the most eviscerating experience you could possibly imagine. But you can be a very successful band and have a bad night. You can be sick, you can be damaged, you can have technical issues, you can have a cold crowd. There's some crowds that the minute you walk out there, it doesn't really take much to move them. And then there are certain crowds that you really need to beat up quite a bit before they start responding.
What's the most bizarre experience you've had with a fan?
Probably when one of the fans threw up a bag of human ash up on stage for us to have, with the dead person's name on the bag. And his last wishes were that part of him be with us. Yeah. That probably ranks way, way up there on the list of strange things.
What did you do?
We still have it. In one of the production cases, we've never gotten rid of it. It's a little too creepy to keep around.
It's like you don't want to get cursed or something?
No. I mean, that was his wish, so it's like, who are we to mess with that?
What does Disturbed do for fun?
We did have some downtime last night. We went bowling.
Bowling?
We went bowling.
And who won?
It was one of the guys in Chimera, actually. And that like got no.
You guys are indestructible.
Not when it comes to that. Let me tell you, this guy should have been a professional bowler. Was it 7 strikes in a row? 7 strikes in a row. He bowled like, I think 3 over 200 games. I mean, he was just amazing. I said to him, like, buddy, man, he picked the wrong line of work. He was like, God, he should have been a professional bowler. He was just unreal. It just seems to be like a cool way to just, out of everybody's eyesight and earsight, to just kind of be normal for a little bit and do something fun. And
now, do you get recognized when you go bowling and stuff? I mean, do people come up and ask for autographs?
Sure. It's my pleasure. I think I'll be far more concerned when nobody cares anymore. So it's all right.
You have a new album out, Indestructible, and I understand there's actually a pretty cool story behind the name of that song and then the album. Is that right?
Sure. The song in particular was written as an anthem for the troops. It's meant to be a song of empowerment, a song of strength and fearlessness. And it was even rhythmically written from a perspective of potentially being a cadence for troops to march to. The overall vibe of the record is one of empowerment. This is music that is the soundtrack for many people to make themselves feel strong and to strip themselves of fear. The other meaning to it is that we are one of the last bands that came about at the time that we came about to still be here. We're not trying to be overly pompous about it, but there is a certain...
We're indestructible. We're disturbed.
Air of that. Yeah, not in that way, but we have somehow survived the wake of destruction that a lot of other bands have not.
How do you respond to people who maybe bash your music or, go after you guys, really when they don't understand all the work and stuff that goes into it?
I don't think it's an understanding of the work that has anything to do with them bashing it. People who bash what we do are doing so because they can, because we have become a target now that we are successful, and because they're musical snobs of a type. It's one thing to have a preference or a taste. It's another thing entirely to attack. I don't know what drives these people sometimes. I honestly don't. Some of them are almost like jealous boyfriends, that loved you when you were small and little known, when you were their own, when you only belonged to them. And now that you're in the public and everyone has a piece of you, you whore. It's like, I don't want anything more to do with you. You're worthless. You're, sellout, whatever.
Do you think people treat you differently because you're famous?
People automatically will give you attitude.
Because you're disturbed?
Sure. Or will automatically, think that you carry yourself high and mighty when you actually don't really act any differently than anybody else. And you get some of these people who are haters, and you get some of these people who just, get a kick out of, trying to knock down the person who's a little higher up the mountain. That no matter how many times it happens, it still stings.
Do you see Disturbed still doing this 5-10 years from now? I mean, when do you think you'll call it quits, or do you think you ever will?
I think that we'll continue to do what we do as long as people want to continue partaking of it, as long as people want to continue seeing us. It doesn't get any easier the higher you climb, unfortunately. It sometimes, as you see the peak within your sight, reaching those last few steps towards it is probably the most difficult part. We've got a ways to go till that peak. So,
any insight into the new record? Have you started writing, or?
This next record will probably be as dark or darker than this one. Reason being, it's been a rough year. There's definitely plenty to write about, and people can definitely look forward to another very dark and very angry record.
Don't worry, there's plenty more where that came from. Come with me behind the scenes, backstage, and onto the tour bus to meet your favorite stars. We are backstage with Slipknot. We are on the tour bus with the Academy. I'll ask questions you've never heard before and show you the answers you won't find anywhere else. You said you're a Justin Timberlake fan.
No.
Maybe that wasn't you? What do you like about Katy Perry?
Everything. Happy birthday, dear Brian.
Huge meaning or self-defining sort of thing.
I think we just lost one of our interviews. Rate, comment, and subscribe for new videos every week. Reporting for YouTube, I'm Brian O'Dell. I'm the reason you go on tour.
You're the reason I'm here, baby.